Oh, yeah, I'm okay.
My name's Anita. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Tiffany.
Tiffany, nice to meet you. And where are you from?
Me too. I'm from Vietnam.
Oh, wow. I hear it's beautiful in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Which city are you from?
I'm from a countryside in the north of central Vietnam. Yeah.
Mm, wow. Well, I'm Australian, but I live
Oh.
in Colombia.
Oh, yeah.
And
So, so you have never been to Vietnam before?
no, but I have many friends who have visited.
Yeah.
Um, and in Australia, I eat so much Vietnamese food, and I really, really miss it in Colombia.
Yeah, people always say that they love Vietnamese food.
It's amazing. I miss it so much. I can't find any in Colombia.
Yeah. So what?
Uh,
Yeah.
Pardon?
So what do you do in Colombia?
My husband works here and I work
Mm,
online.
yeah. You
Mm.
are an English teacher?
Yes, I teach for this company and another one online. And I do a little bit in IT as well. What about you, Tiffany? Tell me, what do you do?
I'm now just a student.
Mm-hmm.
I'm studying English in a boarding school. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're still at high school.
No. Like my school is like a place that they teach only English. It's like an English center, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like a residential school. Yeah, we live.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, and you live there as well.
yeah, we live together. Students and teacher live together.
Oh, wow. And oh, we've got someone here.
Yeah, that's my teacher's nephew. Tuấn
Hello.
Sĩ. Hello. Hello.
And how many
Hello.
people? Hello. How many people live where you are?
Yeah, there there are maybe about 20 people, uh, like including teacher and student.
Mm-hmm.
Không,
Oh,
em nói.
how wonderful. And how long will you live there for?
I have study and live here for 8 months, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the IELTS exam in the next 4 months, in the end of the April. At the,
Oh, fantastic. And what are you hoping to achieve in IELTS? What score then?
yeah, my target is 7.7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I hope to
Excellent. And what do you
someone.
hope to do with that? Are you hoping to study somewhere else? Or once you get your seven, what would you like to do?
Actually, I don't know, like because before I went to a university, but
Mm-hmm.
then I dropped out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time I didn't know what to do, so I come here to study English. But actually, I don't exactly know what I'll do after
Mm.
that.
But you're enjoying learning English. He wants to play with you.
Yeah. So
You're like,
mhm,
mhm.
today I have a topic that if you could go back in time. So I want to discuss this topic with you. You okay?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have
You
a link or do you just want to talk about it? Do you have a
have
link or
yeah.
it's just a
I have some questions.
Mhm.
Okay, the first question is if you
Cô
could
Tâm
go
đang
back
học á, cho
to
nên cô
the
Tâm
to
đang
some
chơi
time
rồi.
and place in the
Nói cho cô
past,
Tâm nghe đi.
when and where would you go? Why?
Ooh, so you want me to answer that one first?
Yeah. I don't.
Oh, that's a really good question. Mm, if I could go back to a time and place, I would probably go back to my undergraduate days in university. Because
Okay.
don't apologize. because I didn't study very hard, and I wonder if I had have studied really hard, what my career could have looked like. I've had a very good career, but if I had have studied harder, maybe it would be better.
So what did you study in university?
I did 2 degrees. I studied harder in my second, but my first I did a business degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved studying, but I didn't study very hard. I love learning, not studying.
Oh yeah. So you study in Australia?
Yes. Yes. Always I've studied in Australia. So tell me about you. What time and place would you go back to?
Yeah. Actually, I don't want to change anything in my life. Like I think because I think that the new universe let something that everything happen because some reasons. So I just want to go back in so back to the time that I was a child. And because I have a real fantastic childhood, so I just want to come back and like sit there and look how happy I am at that time, and then see my friends. And once time like don't worry about anything much, like because when we were kid we didn't like worry about what adults are worrying about. It's really wonderful time.
And you were just free.
Yeah.
Just one little minor thing, really fantastic childhood.
Yeah.
Not just real, add the ly, really.
Yeah, okay. So I have another question. What time periods interest you?
Oh, historically, that is a very good question. I think the 20s interest me, the 1920s, because so much changed during that time. The fashion changed, the music changed, the cars were becoming more popular. That seemed to be an era where stuff went really modernized. So it would be curious to see and be a person of that time.
Okay, so do you love that time?
I don't necessarily love it. I just think it's really an interesting period because it was after or before the recession.
Yeah. So as I said, the previous time that I like is my childhood, and because of the time I was really an active and like mischievous sometimes. But I play hard and I study hard. But then when I came to high school, like God, I was a teenager at that time, and something like friends, some problems come in, and I was shy, and I cannot like got along well with my friends at high school. And since that time, my life is a bit not happy as before.
Oh,
So
really?
everything is really great.
Did you go to an all-girls high school or a mixed high school? You said high school was difficult for you?
Yeah, the time at high school is quite difficult to me because at that time I don't know why, but I was lazy and I didn't get along well with my friends as well. So everything like turned to not good as before.
Yeah. I think high school is a very difficult time for most people.
So what about your high school?
Yeah, I didn't like high school either. I also didn't study very hard. I had some friends, but not that many. But when I finished high school, I went to Japan for 1 year. And that was the best year of my life. And since then, life has been good.
Yeah.
Once I finished high school, it got good.
What things could you learn from time travel?
Ooh. That's a tough question. I think you could learn about the past. You could actually get to experience it yourself. And you could hopefully try and do things better today. What about you? What do you think?
So I think if I could travel in time, so that I'll when I get back to the present, I'll appreciate the present more because when I was in the past, when I was a child, I want to be an adult because most of children want to be adults when they were children, but then when we are adult, we want to become a child again.
Mm-hmm.
But these things will never happen, so I think we should just accept what we have now and what we are now, so that is the best thing we could.
What a great way to say it. I'd appreciate the current. I think that's true.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
And
that's all the questions I have.
ooh, well, then I have a question for you. Does history interest you?
Yes.
History. So this question was not just about your life, but about the past. So does history interest you? Do you know the word history?
Yeah, history. Yeah. Actually, I don't know much about history, so, uh, so
Really?
yeah, I don't really care about history.
So it doesn't interest you.
Yeah.
What about, do you know anything about the history of Vietnam?
Yeah, just a little bit.
That you fell
I am
asleep in those classes in school.
not really, but like I do another thing. I didn't fall asleep, but I like kind of talk to my friends, and I didn't like concentrate on the lesson that my teacher taught me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't pay attention
Sometimes
in school.
sometimes it did interest me, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes because of that I get a little high score. And one time my history teacher asked me to 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 go for a contest, history contest, but
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't feel like I'm confident
Mm-hmm.
to, so I turned it down. And since
Yeah.
that I didn't learn much about history.
Mm-hmm.
So you
And
so you love history?
um, I find it interesting that I love to travel. So when I travel to new places, I like to learn about the history of that area. I really enjoy doing that. But I don't like reading history books. That doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
But if I am in a new place, I like to learn about the place and the history because I think history helps shape culture.
Yeah. And I think it is a really like good way to make history more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think if I have a chance to travel, I'll try
Mm-hmm.
to know about the history in that place, because before I have never done this before. I just study it in my school and just books and pictures. so I
Mm-hmm.
so I think if I have chance, I'll try it.
Yeah. It's a good strategy.
So
Mm.
so do you travel a lot?
I try to, yes. So I have been to about 25 countries.
25 countries? Yeah.
I still haven't got to Vietnam, though. I want to.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of
Yeah.
Asia because in my head, Australia and Asia, they're close. So I can do that. But I've been to a lot of Europe and a lot of Latin America.
Yeah. So, do you travel to Asian country before?
I've only been to Japan, Hong Kong, and Macau.
Hong Kong
So
is quite near Vietnam, I think.
is it? Yeah, it's I think I will go to Vietnam definitely. Just I haven't yet. And now I'm in Colombia. It's a little bit far.
Yeah.
Um,
Vietnamese students always want to like study abroad in
mhm.
Australia. Yeah, and so I wanted to ask you some question about like what is it at Australia? Do you love living in there?
I do. Australia is a great country. Whilst I don't live there now, it is a wonderful country. It has a lot of nature. It has lots of people from all around the world that live there. There are many Vietnamese who live in Australia, which is why we get good Vietnamese food. Um, the nature is beautiful. There is good job opportunities. It is clean. So it's a good country.
Yeah,
And for me, my family is there.
yeah. So what about New Zealand? Have you been to New Zealand?
5 times. I love New Zealand.
So what between New Zealand and Australia, which
Uh, for travel, both countries are good, but New Zealand is small and Australia is huge. So in New Zealand, you can see a lot very quickly. New Zealand is very different to Australia landscape-wise. That it's, but culturally, it is similar. Different, but very similar. So both countries are great. There are more job opportunities in Australia, though. But for travel, New Zealand is a great country.
yeah. When I was in high school, I had a dream to study abroad in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Now this dream isn't like isn't in my head yet.
It hasn't come
So
true.
yeah, because it hasn't come true, and I don't know now. I don't know what I want, so it's not. It isn't still my dream.
Mm-hmm. But Tiffany, we've run out of time. You did so well today. Your English is quite good.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for picking an interesting topic to talk about.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Oh, it was my pleasure. And good luck with learning English. You're doing really well, and I'd love to talk to you again in the future. You're such a pleasure to
Yeah,
talk to.
thank you. And if I have a chance, I love to see you again.
Wonderful. Thanks, Tiffany. Bye-bye.